Just want to say, talking is fucking ridiculous. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking. That's why I can't deal with the freaking gay organisations like Bobby Goldsmith and Akon, those wankers. Oh, they're just such socialist, communist idiots. So I was talking to this idiot a few weeks ago. Support social work in person. It's like, oh, fuck off. They just, we're not like-minded people at all. Anyway, and she's like, oh, what about grief counselling? I'm like, for what? Like, it's something to do with like to be able to let go of grief. I'm like, what, from people? Are you fucking insane? This has gone on for 9 years. Idiots think so. Some female obviously made a bullshit story up, and probably some wankers on my mum's side that projected their issues. And then I was crap that was like to do with my nan dying. I'm like, and I didn't think my nan was going to live long after my pop died. Like, I was like, yeah, nan died. She's had a really good life. I haven't. So what's that got to do with things? It's ridiculous shit. And like this bullshit about, oh, you can't let go. I'm like, no, you have an issue. Fucking Carol, Marion, and Robin, you have the issue that you project on other people. You're fucking freaks. You can't let go. You're an idiot. Like, Carol still lives in that fucking house because like not long after she moved there, when she moved from Sydney, Jade died. It's like, well, that's fucking creepy. It's a shit out. Like, you know, if Jade didn't die, you were looking at moving back to Sydney anyway, because it wasn't a really good fit when you first moved there. Like, and even I remember her saying, like, years ago, when we were still little kids, like, well, not little kids, we were like in high school, so teenagers, going, oh, the worst thing was something about burying her daughter here, so she had to stay here. I'm like, that's fucking weird. That's fucking creepy. You know, like, meanwhile, you know, most of our family's buried in the city at the Field of Mars. So, and no one ever lives around there. Like, anyway, so this bullshit about crap. I'm like, why would I care about people dying or lost, like leaving relationships? Because I've left all my relationships. Idiots made up some weird bullshit that I cared about any relationship I've ever been in. So it doesn't make any sense because I've never wanted one relationship I was in. And because I shared photos across social media, it was like, oh, he hasn't gotten over John. Oh, he hasn't got over Gio. It's women making these stories up. I'm like, you're a fucking dumb female that projects you're a useless female. This is where I don't agree in equality, because women are insane. And what's happening in the world at the moment, women are projecting their behaviour onto everybody else. It's like, no, this is your insanity. This is what women were locked up for. You have this insane behavior because women are different to men. Men don't, like, you know, care about relationships. That's why men were always providers, because they make money. Men care about business, careers, money. We don't really give a shit. We're always looking to see, oh, what other toys can we buy? You're different. Women have to they have this need for family and community and children. It's like, yeah, well, men don't see that. We're looking to see how far we can climb up the corporate ladder, career-wise, money-wise. Men don't give a shit what you think. Men don't care. I mean, and I would never socialize with a man that cares about relationships, family, community. I would never socialize with a man that's not a capitalist. Simple. That's simple. If they if I ever entered, like, every relationship I've had, I've never wanted, because I've always loved being a bachelor. I just sort of fell into them. So I've left them. That's why I've left all of my relationships. And this is weird, because some idiots thought that I was dumped. I was like, man, I've never been dumped ever in my life. I have no idea what it feels like to be dumped. And for me as a person, I'd be like, oh, and like squeezing a zip. Like, it's like, and I'm just not a relationship person. I'm like, it hurts. What hurts me is like, oh my God, my salary. Like, seriously, it's like, fuck, I got mugged after work. What about my career? It was like, first thing was like, my fucking career. I've just been doing high duty shifts, HD shifts. I'm like, the first thing that popped in my mind when I woke up from being mugged and robbed, November 30th, 2007 in Glasgow, Coma Skull 13 was, but I'm doing HD shifts. Like, well, sorry. When I first woke up, actually, what I said was, my teeth My teeth were still perfect because my teeth were all natural. Never had anything done to them. So I was worried that when I got hit, anything was happened to my face like that. But no, remember when they wouldn't accept me, so after at home, they wouldn't accept me to go back at work. I'm like, but I'm doing high duty shifts. Like my career's moving up really fast, like where I wanted to go, and I'm making good money. Like, so that was the only thing. So it's like, how do you? I didn't get. So if you're someone that cares for socialism, communism, communities, families, relationships, then we're not like minded. That's why I've even dropped friends in the past because it's like straight friends. It's like, oh god, you're getting married again. Oh, you're having kids again. Oh, fuck off, man. We're not like minded. Like idiots keep putting me around people that are having kids. I'm like, I won't ever socialize with people that are family orientated. You know, I won't ever socialize because that brings me down. You're not giving me good, like what I like to be around is bachelor men working, looking after the health, not focused on relationships, not focused on families, not focused on communities, city life, 24 hours, and focused on capitalism, making money, spending money, keeping the world moving. That's me. That's like-minded to me. And every time, and that's what I've always been like. The problem is my partners have been like the last two like that I had that were long term. So John Cabino, John, and Giovanni Consalvaggio were both so family orientated that they kept dragging my family into my life. And it's like, great, because that's not who I am. Like having to go and be such a family person was making me miserable. That's not who I am. It's not who I've ever been. Never. There was all this bullshit where they were carrying on like in my mum's family. Oh, he's never gone over the fact that mum's moved from Sydney. I'm like, nah, sorry. Like I didn't want that burden. Because when Nan was living, like when Pop died, and then I felt obligated because Nan said to move back to the suburbs where I'm from. And then Pop died November 2002. Took me out at Concord Hospital. Nan said, take me out for cigarettes. So I went outside Concord Hospital and then said, I need you to move home, like back where I'm from in the suburbs of Sydney. And I'm living at Manly at the time. I'm like, why? Like, then I was going to walk away from the family. I said, Pop's not here to keep your daughters in line. And that's what I said. And I was like, Justin, they're going to force me to sell and move. I'm like, all right. So that's what Nan, like, says, and they're like, so mum and her sisters are like, oh, he's never got over this. I'm like, yeah, I fucking have. Seriously, it was a burden on me because then I had to not be in the city where I've lived. So I had to move from the city back to the suburbs, which I hate. So when Nan moved, I'm like, oh, good, I'm going back to the city. That's what, for me, the only thing I can't stand was the fact that Nan was bullied to move. Like, Nan was waiting to me. Like, she didn't want to go. I'm like, okay, Nan, stand up to your daughters. If you don't stand up to your daughters, that's it. Like, and I remember I had an argument with Nan in 2004 over her daughters. I'm like, that's fucking it. I'm sick of this shit. So there's nothing to let go from, you fucking morons. Like, they're just idiots. Women make up bullshit stories. It's like, you're a female, so you've got issues because you're projecting the fact that you can't deal with loss, where I think men just see it as, yeah, whatever. They're dead. You can't deal with, like, you have to have family, you've got to have community. Like, it's the whole female thing. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, men really don't think like that. That's why men have always been more successful, climb that corporate ladder and so forth, because they do not really give a shit about having families or communities or other bullshit that really weakens the world's economy. So, and then, fucking hell, like the shit, like wankers that keep putting me around guys that I'm like, yeah, I would never socialize with a guy that's married with kids. And then my fuckwit mother's family always go, oh, but his ex-partner, didn't John have kids? It's like, and? So I never knew John had kids when I met him. John was the most campus gay man you would ever meet in your life. The last thing, like, almost fainted when he said he had kids. I'm like, what? And his wife goes, oh yeah, I knew, like his ex-wife. I was like, you knew he was gay. It's like, that guy is practically a girl. John Cabino was practically a female. Like, he was so camp. Even everyone, you could see he was a screaming queen. Even all my cousins like, oh God, Johnny's so camp, he's so gay. I'm like, yeah. And he's always been like this. And I was dating him for about 3 months before he told me, or almost 4 months actually. It was just before my birthday, and he's like, oh, my kids, like, sort of like then say, because his kids wanted to meet me, so he's got to tell me they had kids. I'm like, what? Because that's the last thing I ever expected out of his mouth. And he goes, oh, I suppose you're going to dump me now. I'm like, oh, well, I can't now, can I? I've been dating you for 4. I would look like an arsehole if I go, oh, I'm going to dump you. Everything else is perfect in our relationship and the dating, but I'm going to dump you because you told me you had kids. I was like, I can't now, but if you had told me when I first met you, I would have gone, yeah, we're not suited. You got kids, so we're not suited. But I can't now. Now that that we've dated and it's been great for like the last 3-4 months. So yeah, so look, the women make up fucking bullshit stories. Let's go back to the day where women were just ignored, because there's nothing fucking sensible or true that ever comes out of a female's mouth. Seriously, if a female opens their mouth and the shit that comes out of them, like, you can't say a full sentence without lying.